Happy Tuesday, everybody. I hope everybody is doing well. Hope everyone had a great weekend. Welcome back to our Tuesday morning market update series. Keep an eye out for the Friday planning series later this week. And as well, always feel free to share these videos with other people you know, other people who may be interested. There are so many exciting things that are going on today. I just want to jump right in. So last week was another record-setting week as we moved closer to full reopening in the U.S. economy. There are some hiccups. We know that. We've seen the state of Michigan suggested stay-at-home order. Case counts are going up there. Hospitalizations are going up there. Johnson & Johnson supply issues. News from overseas about more lockdowns. And even a report that one of the variants has been able to break through the Pfizer vaccine in a study out of Israel. But as I mentioned last week, all of the vaccine expectations right now are for all positive news. Any news that we get right now is going to be negative off of that direction. So it's okay. I think we're going to be okay, but we'll see how that all goes. There's bound to be some of that negative news. Things are still looking up. More travel, more entertainment, real people at baseball games. This is an exciting time, so hold on, buckle up. When things are always this good, they seem like they're this good, there's always a surprise around the corner, so we're going to have to keep an eye out for it. We don't know what that is. History tells us that there will be something. So what I'm suggesting is that although we'll see volatility in the coming months, we are still optimistic on the medium and the long term in this market. So Monday, let's talk about last week. Monday started off strong start after the holiday weekend. Recall that I told you last week that the U.S. markets were closed, so they weren't able to react to the big employment number. And then European markets were closed on Monday. So we finally got everything rolling through the week last week, but we did see a strong response from the U.S. markets on Monday. So the S&P 500 was up almost 1.5% on the day. Excuse me. Back on the back of strong economic numbers, as we did see again a confined 10-year yield. So Tuesday and Wednesday, a little bit of digestion moves for the market, and then we resumed an upward trend on Thursday as news from Powell and Biden really helped the upward motion. The S&P closed up about 0.5% on Thursday. Friday started out higher, and then we saw the much higher than expected PPI number, and inflation was back in the spotlight. So it appeared that it was going to throw cold water on the rally, but yields stabilized. Stocks moved up into the close to end another record closing high. Another exciting week came to a close. What do we have in store from here, and how does the path forward look? Look, this market is right now pricing perfection to some degree, and here's what that perfection might look like. The FOMC remains on aggressively dovish. No tapering discussion even until the fall, and certainly no actual tapering until 2022. Number two, infrastructure moves ahead, passes in the current $4 trillion mark that people are looking at without any material tax changes and tax increases. COVID is pretty much gone by the summer, and by quarter three, we're back to normal, and the huge global recovery gathers some steam. Number four, none of these things cause inflation to increase to the point where the Fed has to change what we said just a minute ago, number one. And number five, none of these things make the 10-year yield move again like it did last month. Remember, orderly moves to the 10-year yield, we can handle those. It's the disorderly moves that we saw last month that is something we have to watch out for. While these five things actually could happen, we have to be ready for if they don't happen and if they don't work out exactly as they're planned. And that's why more volatility is what we think and what we expect. That being said, we're going to be very, very nimble, but we're optimistic on the medium and the long term of this market. We're going to continue to look for data to be good enough to stay confident, but not so good that the Fed has to act. Remember, as the saying goes, bull markets don't die of old age, the Federal Reserve kills them. So we're going to see how all that all goes. Today, by the time you watch this, we should have the most important number of the week, the CPI number. We're going to match that versus the huge PPI number that we saw last week. We'll also be watching the employment numbers. New jobs were through the roof, as we said, but jobless numbers are still staying pretty ugly compared to 2019. So we have a ways to go still on employment, and of course that is one of the big things that the Federal Reserve continues to watch. Thursday, we'll bring some additional numbers in retail sales, industrial production. We're going to continue to watch for inflation. Remember, the Fed is making clear that current inflation is temporary. We'll see if that's actually true or not, but that's what the market is expecting right now. We're seeing that we see temporary inflation and that it'll go away and we'll be able to get to some steady move there. So we start earnings season tomorrow. So all this together makes for another exciting week. We're going to find out about inflation. We're going to find out about growth. As long as we can have growth solid and accelerating and tame inflation, we're going to be okay. So please keep in mind, as I try to remind you all the time, this is exciting information, but the real excitement comes when we review how we are meeting and exceeding your goals, your financial goals. We're going to keep up with that information on the Friday videos. We're talking on Friday videos right now about the upcoming tax changes. Remember, it's what you earn, what you keep, not what you earn. And so that promises to figure into all of this noise as well. So in an effort to cut this off now, I'm going to hold off on anything about commodities. So call me if you need any information on that. Otherwise, have a great week. Please call us if you have any questions. Stay safe.